Mira, thank you for joining me up here for the full process of the MAT Rapid Advance technique. So we're going to demonstrate that now step by step for you so that you see exactly what you're going to do in your demonstrations with your buddies. So Mira, how can we help you today? Let's have a recap on what we talked about.
Okay, so I've got four children, and I just found out I'm pregnant with the fifth. So I've had.
And we were interrupted, by the way, when we said congratulations.
Yes, and I'm having all these feelings about dying, and like everything goes to I'm going to die. I'm driving, I'm going to die. I'm flying. I was meant to fly here, like I said before, to this course, and I couldn't get on the plane because I thought I was going to die. So we drove 11, 12 hours. I still thought I was going to die. And yes, but this is a thing that's come up, and it came up with my first.
So it started with the first birth.
Yes.
Can you just give me a quick recap what you remember, what the first birth was like?
It was under stressful circumstances.
Okay.
I did have a stressful. I wasn't married. I was with my husband now. We were just boyfriend girlfriend, and I was disowned because of cultural reasons.
Because you were pregnant.
Out of wedlock, and my husband's he's black.
Oh,
he's Tongan. Yeah.
Okay.
So there was this big thing,
Yeah.
so I got disowned from there, and we're still not talking, but I'm okay with that. That's fine. I've done work on
You
that.
found your love.
Yeah. So and the whole labour was horrible. I didn't speak through it. I didn't breathe. I was just
So tense.
Yep.
Wow.
And it went for about 3 days when I look
Wow.
at but they wouldn't do anything because my contractions kept going back and forth.
Okay.
So they just
It wasn't
just
consistent.
wait. Yeah. And I know that now because of the stress.
Yep.
So throughout the whole thing, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I
Yeah.
just kept saying that. I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die, and I didn't have anyone kind of there to help me.
To
My mom
support.
wasn't there, and
Yeah.
so I finally gave birth to him, and my placenta came out fragmented, and he had meconium. So there was meconium. So yeah, they just took him away from me and got all that out of him. And then a week later, I stopped eating. I lost about 13 kilos.
You also said something about the placenta was
fragmented.
Yeah.
So it all came out
but
in
it was
bits,
also left.
and they left some inside. They thought they got it all, but then, about a week later, to the day, I went back into hospital because my son was sick. He had like a skin infection, but then they checked me out, and then they found that there was placenta inside. So then I got admitted, and he got admitted, and then that's when the postnatal depression started. It all just started from then, and then I just went
Right.
into this whole depression. I don't remember much of probably his year of life. I just kind of was just existing.
This is a very good example of neurogenesis. This trauma taking place, this feeling of I'm going to die, and then the trauma taking place. New neural pathways could have started to, the predispositions for that could have started to grow at that point, starting to form, and with that trauma hooking the memory in place. So saying that is a possibility, one of many. Also, what could have added to her feeling that I'm going to die, the placenta that was inside her body still, the tissue, dying, that can actually cause a person to also feel that I'm dying. That's why after birth, when the placenta separated from a child, a lot of people feel, the missing twin. There was a presence there that died. It's only the placenta that they felt. That's the missing twin. And also that's why, only during very, very advanced techniques in MAT do we actually if it comes up, deal with the placenta being separated, because when that trauma is tapped into, it can trigger suicidal thoughts. It's not necessarily yours, because what you're feeling is the tissue of the placenta dying. Because that placenta was a part of you for 9 months. There's still cellular communication between your body and that placenta. Right? Got it. So there's already an aspect that could have anchored in that feeling of I'm dying. Got it. Because already what happened with her is that she lost her complete support of her family. Genetically, we are programmed to instinctively stick together in groups and communities because that's where our survival is. Now, in her state of distress, biologically, she could have had that instinctive response, that desire, that need for community, for support again for her family, but they weren't there. They weren't there to support her. So normally, it makes sense that it would trigger the feeling of, I'm going to die, because my community is not here to help me. Because that's what happened in tribes, back in the days. If you didn't have your people around you, what are your odds of finding food, finding water, right? Delivering a child on your own. And that was her first child. Now look at the association that she made with, big changes. I'm going to die with big changes. Giving birth to a child, that is tremendous. That's a huge change. And then you're going through this process, transition of change, with no support. I mean, of course she was supported by the staff, and her partner, of course, but it wasn't from the source that her biological reaction, her body was necessarily seeking it from, which is family. Right? Wow. Okay, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. All right, so here I'm going to write down. So it's I'm just going to write the statement. I'm dying. Got it. Because even when you said that you were driving here, she already was like feeling that, oh my God, we're going to die, I'm going to die. That's because she was going through change, transition. Moving, driving from Queensland here to Sydney, knowing that she's going to attend a course that's going to create change. Right? Triggering the old memories and thoughts, patterns of I'm going to die. There's a change coming, I'm going to die. Consciously, frontal cortex, she knows that she's not, but it's triggering the unconscious memory in the back of her mind that's so strong that it makes her feel that she's reliving that psychological trauma. Because the body doesn't understand the difference between a trauma that's taking place in the present moment and one that happened in the past. That's why the trauma can come up so strong. I can only imagine that you two must have fought in the car. No? Or were you cool about it?
No, yeah, he was alright. He was good.
Oh,
he's
nice.
very calm, my husband. Yeah, he drove me here.
That helps. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. Perfect. So we have the issue, and of course the intention is to help her to clear that.
Also, I
Tell
just
me.
remembered, I did have my mum's friend tell me how she felt like she was dying when she gave birth and that something was ripping her from the inside. That just came
Trauma
up.
transfer.
So I was like, and she was my mum's best friend. She was like an auntie to me.
Trauma transfer.
That came up, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm just gonna make a note there, TT, trauma transfer, so that I remember later. This is great. Okay. So, Mira, I would like you we were just talking about that feeling that you had, I'm going to die, feeling that stress with the lack of support during the birth process, especially with the first child, not knowing what to expect, complete loss of control, right? So, when you told me about that feeling that I'm dying, is there any emotions that you felt there with that statement that you made earlier?
I feel like I'm holding back my tears. Like I really am, yeah. I am kind of really at that where I'm just gonna, I feel like, shaky and,
That's okay.
yeah. So emotionally, probably terror, fear,
Got it.
loss of control, gosh, all those ones.
That's it. Yeah. Just let it flow. You're just having a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just having a conversation. Let it flow.
Yeah, I feel like really, like I'm trying to grab onto something, like I don't know
That's
what
it.
that is.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What else? There's one more.
Um, okay, alone.
That's it. Got it. You're doing great. And everything that you just mentioned to me, where's the home for it inside of your body?
And it feels like it's my whole torso.
So chest and abdomen.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're feeling it here in the chest and the abdomen, is there any area where you perhaps feel it outside of the body? Just if you do, we're going to pretend, we're going to be playful. If you do.
Wow. So probably here.
Oh, got it, yeah. Yep, that makes sense. Perfect. Now we're going to be even more playful. We're going to pretend that soul copy, this is what it is, a soul copy or memory pocket. We're going to pretend that it has a face or a voice that you know. And if it did, who would it be?
I just feel like it's a bunch of people.
Got
Just
it.
like a whole lot of people. I can't even tell you what faces. Just like
But they feel like family or friends?
Yeah.
So,
no, it feels like
Right.
it's a family. Like
and if they collectively share an emotion, what would you say that is? In that snapshot, in that
I just
pocket?
get fear.
Okay, so it's maybe they're sharing this fear perhaps with you, or
Yeah.
is that
yeah.
what it feels like?
Yeah, or like it almost feels like a fear for protection. Like a, I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, it's weird. Just like
Fear,
a
fear to protect, or a
Yeah.
fear of failing to protect?
No, like a fear because of protection. They're trying to protect, or like you've got to.
Oh, it's because so they feel scared for you, so they're trying to protect you. Is that?
Well, no, they're fearful too.
Ah,
Yeah,
got
it's
it,
just
got
a
it, got it. Okay.
Fear.
Mhm.
Just for fear. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so we already have a sense of what it is, but fear is perfect. So we're just gonna go with the word their fear. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Alright. Perfect. You're doing great. You're doing very good. So as you're aware of this feeling of the terror, the loss of control, the panic and feeling alone, how does your physical body react?
I feel like it's interesting. You just said it all together, and I do feel like that, like a vomit, but not from here sick.
It's-
Like I'm.
Okay.
I feel like
got it.
restricted. Like I'm. Yeah.
Got it.
And breathing, like I feel heavy on my chest. Like I'm
Heavy.
trying to take it.
And you can't, like it's almost feeling
Yeah.
trapped. Got it. Is there any other physical reactions that you have, like freeze or hiding or fighting, or? If you don't, that's okay. I'm just exploring.
Yeah.
Take
So
your
I
time.
feel like I've gone cold. So like my legs feel kind of shaky. And I'd say like a freeze.
Mira, just one more question. You know, as we were talking about, these feelings that you felt when you were in the hospital, what one positive need did you have at that time? What did Mira need?
Straight away. Probably support.
That's it. Of course, yeah. Very good. Got it. Okay. This is perfect. Is it okay if I help you to start the healing process for this? Okay. Perfect. Mira, I would like you to take a nice deep breath with me. Beautiful. You did amazing. You did really good. You did very good. I invite you now to just close your eyes and just relax and pretend that you're in this caterpillar and you're in this beautiful cocoon, any color of your choice. like you just take a nice deep breath. Perfect. When you're ready, you can gently come back to me, back into the room. Hi. Are those prayer beads? Looks like something that you would buy in Bali. Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. How are you?
Yeah, good.
What did you feel, hear, see, or sense? What happened?
Just kind of, waves of colours. I found that I lost feeling in everything. So I was just somewhere, I don't know where I was.
Wow.
So and then at one stage I was like, okay, move your fingers, but I just couldn't move.
Wow.
And when you called back my power, I actually felt it. I don't know if it looked like but it was like a zap back.
Oh wow.
So it was interesting.
I'll have to look at the video because my eyes were closed and like, what does she need? What is best going to be appropriate for her? So my eyes were shut. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you feel now, just in general, like as a general emotional state?
I can't, like nothing really. I'm just not happy, I can't pick anything.
That is the perfect answer that you can get. I call it neutral or the meh state. How do you feel? Meh.
Okay, well that's
I'm not happy, I'm not sad, it's just meh. That is perfect neutralness. That is the best place to be. Because that's a place of stillness. There's no trigger. Even the happiness can sometimes be it could be positive trauma. So if she said like, oh my God, that was amazing, yes, I'd be like, all right, now we need to do a second round, right? And of course, if she's sad, then we would definitely have done another process. So tell me, how do you feel when you think back to that old problem?
I'm trying to. I know. You know what? I know, but I just can't. Like I know it, but I can't bring it in.
What do you know?
Like kind
What
of.
do you know that you don't know?
Like I think. I can't. I can't get it to
Get
even,
what?
Whatever.
What we worked on?
Yes.
Give her a thunderous round of applause!